Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I have reached my 10-year anniversary as a law enforcement officer. Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you are having a fantastic week so far. I am so excited because I have finally reached my 10-year mark as a cop. I've come a long way and I've changed significantly in the past decade. And most people do change over time, but I think especially as a cop changes you in just a very different way. I remember being that very overly eager rookie that wanted to get into everything. Business alarm? No problem. Lights and sirens. Dog problem? No problem. Lights and sirens. Credit card theft? God damn it! When I was younger, I was much more outspoken, believe it or not, and I was extremely rebellious. As I've gotten older, I've matured, I've calmed down, and I'm much more of a methodical thinker now. Time has taught me that there are situations where keeping your mouth shut is probably the best option, but there's also other times where it's appropriate to say something. And one thing I've noticed over the years is it's the people that talk the most, that complain the most, that are never heard. But when you're usually the quiet guy and you usually keep to yourself, when you speak, it holds weight to it. July will be 2 years that I have been running this channel, and one of the most common questions I get, and I think this is pretty much for any cop, is what made you want to get into law enforcement? This is the best way I know how to summarize it. The whole reason I became a cop was because I wanted to be the person that shows up when you call 911. I want to fix problems, I want to solve crimes, I want to keep crime out of the streets. And unfortunately through the years you start to realize that you are not going to fix every problem that's out there, but at the end of the day you come to this acceptance that even if you can change one person's life, make some sort of influence in one person's life for that day, then you did your job. I thought it was awesome that some 20-year-old punk kid was solving marital problems of like 40, 50-year-olds and older. I say solving loosely. Some of them continued to have problems after I left, but there were times where I made both of them think about their decisions and they came to an agreement and we never got another call there. And I never got into this line of work because I wanted to carry a gun. Did I think lights and sirens were pretty cool? Yeah, I don't think about that anymore though. The badge has never really been significant to me at all. Of course I'm proud to wear it, but it's not something that I think about. To me, it's just a piece of metal that's on my chest that identifies what department I'm with. That's it. But knowing that I was going to be the person that was called to respond to an emergency was thrilling to me. That is what I wanted. And as time went on, eventually, after about 6.5 years of doing this, I finally achieved a supervisory rank. And that moment was even more rewarding than it originally was when I got into this line of work, because not only am I still going to be assisting the public, I'm still going to be helping people, but now I have officers that don't even know what to do in a situation and they're going to call me. So it was like a step up from the original reason why I wanted to get into this line of work. And you have a lot of supervisors that get pissy whenever you ask to call them. And I don't understand that, because if you want to be a leader, you have to answer questions. That's part of the job. And I never, at any point, did I ever make any of my guys feel like they were an inconvenience for calling me and asking me questions or asking me to respond to their scene. Now, obviously, I'm sure as you guys can imagine, over the past 10 years, I have met a whole spectrum of personalities in this line of work. I've seen abusive cops, I've seen corrupt cops. I've seen people that are just flat out assholes and they have no value for human life. But luckily, the overwhelming majority of officers that I have come across are just like me. They got into this for the right reasons. They have families at home, just like I do. You know, they put their pants on the same way I do, the same way you do every day. Those are the people I like to work with. And there's this reputation for cops not having any type of sense of humor, but I guarantee you they do behind the scenes. A lot of times if we're on a call, we can't be joking, we can't be laughing. There are appropriate times, but we can't do that at every call. Usually we're law enforcement. We're there to enforce some law or to solve a problem, so we have to be firm. You have to be firm sometimes. Sometimes you have to be a straight up asshole. I'm not saying you should be in every scenario, but there are some people that just don't get it. There are certain jurisdictions that you will work where, sir, please stop doing that, or ma'am, please stop doing that. Doesn't work. Get down on the fucking ground! That's the only thing that works in some places. But I think what makes a cop successful is being able to adapt to whatever environment you're in. And whichever environment you are placed in, you still need to treat people with respect. Respect will get you so far in this job, farther than any other personality trait or mannerism. Respect will get you what you want, usually. You have to have thick skin in this job. That's no secret. But on a positive note, I can't imagine doing anything outside of law enforcement. A lot of people say, what would you be doing if you weren't in law enforcement? Probably something with computers. I'm a huge computer nerd. I would love to work for Google or from some gaming company doing graphic design. That would be like my go-to profession if I ever got out of law enforcement. But I love what I do. I really love what I do. So outside of law enforcement, I can't imagine doing really anything else. I can't imagine winning the lottery. I can't imagine that. But other than that, this job really changes who you are. It builds your confidence because you're constantly talking to people. You're meeting different people from different cultures, and you learn how to talk to people, you know, in whatever way that they understand. Believe it or not, it's easy for me to say this because I'm talking to a camera. In person, I'm actually a very shy, quiet guy for the most part. I can't be when I'm at work, obviously, but when I'm not at work, man, I'm usually pretty withdrawn and just kind of do my own thing. We do have a lot of rookies that will listen to their radio while they're off duty. When it's time to go home, go home. Don't burn yourself out. That's the biggest thing I had to learn about this job is the bad guys will be there tomorrow. I can't think of any other job that has better job security. Crackheads are going to be there tomorrow. People breaking into houses are going to be there tomorrow. Murderers are going to be there tomorrow. Armed robberies are going to be there tomorrow. All that stuff will always be around. It's never going to completely disappear. So as long as that stuff is here, I will have a job. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I asked you guys on YouTube if you wanted me to do a 10-year video, and like 91% of you said hell yes. And the other 9% of you said, no, you ugly and you can't read good. But luckily, most of you just picked that because you thought it was funny. But either way, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it, you guys, and I will see you guys very, very, very soon.